Hello guys, welcome. I'm glad you can join me here today. So we'll go through 1303 and I think I'm gonna react to a video by the one and only Angel Dove. Which one do I need? I think it's this one. So this is called Dean Winchester, Nothing Else Matters by the ever so talented Angel Dove. You guys ready for this? Can I hit play?
You have changed.
I hope you can hear it okay.
And you tell people it's not a big deal. You tell people you'll work through it, but you know you won't. You can't.
Rip
and that
cats.
scares the hell out of you.
Tired, Sam. I'm tired of this job, this life.
Look how young he looks.
They brought me back, Bobby. I'm not even supposed to be here. At least this way, something good can come out of it, you know, and my life can mean something. Wouldn't know what to say.
I hate seeing him cry.
Doesn't matter. I don't matter. I couldn't save Mom. I couldn't save Cass. No! I can't even save a scared little kid. Every time we get close, it always falls apart.
Look at him now.
You carry a trust crap you don't have to do. And it gets clearer when you're dead.
Well, in that case, you should be able to see that I am 90% crap. What makes you think you get to choose? Because I gotta believe. I can choose what I do with my life.
What was his name again? That angel that I couldn't stand.
I'm poisoned. Sam, people get close to me, they get killed. And why would an angel rescue me from hell?
God, Castiel looks so young as well. What even? They've been through so much.
Why me? If there is a God out there, why would he give a crap about me?
Him, what's his name again? Zachariah, is it?
But you can't lie to me.
No worries, Scud, thanks for joining.
I know how dead you are inside. How worthless you feel. Never you look into a mirror, but him you see. What was you?
Zachar.
Mom, I need you to see me. Please. I can't do it, Cass.
Zachariah.
I'm not strong enough. I wish you couldn't feel anything, Sydney.
This song suits Dean so much.
This life, hunting monsters. There's no joy in it. There's nothing but pain, horror, and death. So if you get a chance at normal, you take it. So I'm not in bed. Okay, it's my time, it's my time.
You really believe that? You want to do.
I don't care what happens to me. I never really have. But I do care about what happens to my brother.
Some things never change.
Faith.
For Samuel as well.
Because right now,
Where is that right now, by the way?
I'm breathing the damn thing. This is the end of everything. No. Hey, boys. What if you have your sword? Dean, no. I am your sword. Your perfect vessel. You'll be stronger than you've ever been.
Oh, Angel. This edit.
That's why you're going to say yes. You can't, Lucifer. Yes, yes, Jack. Guess I don't have a choice.
The chills, I've got chills.
Let him go.
Just holding God up by the throat. Ugh.
Whatever details you alter, we will always here.
I'll check them out. I'll definitely check them out. Whoa. Oh, I love Abaddon. Oh, I loved that transition. That was fire. You know that he would never hold up that deal though. Love him in the outfit. I will never not stop saying that. One of the hardest scenes ever, that.
Think of a million random acts of chance that let John and Mary be born, to meet, to fall in love, to have the two of you.
And that man's sculpted out of clay.
Think of the million
Young
random
John
choices that you made.
is a yes for me.
And yet how each and every one of them
I
brings
miss
you closer
Abaddon.
to your destiny.
So many massive decisions.
You know why that is? Because it's not random. It's not chance. It's a plan that is playing itself out perfectly.
When he did that, oh my god. Peaky Blinders Dean. Oh, I can't wait to watch the next season. Cannot wait, guys. Oh, so good. So freaking good, Angel. Work of art right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please check out Angel's channel, guys. She's incredible. You will not be disappointed with those edits at all. Zachariah, yes, he was also Michael's second in command in the alternate universe, if I understand that correct. Wait, did I spot him in that? I can't even remember. My memory is trash. Hey, Zachariah was killed by Jack when they attacked the camp. Did I pick up on that, like on the reaction? Do you guys know? I don't remember reacting to that. I mean, I could have done, but I don't even know. Right, it's a comment type of thing now. So we are on 1303 part 1. So Romulo says, I was so happy when I saw Misery on this episode after 13 years. Who would have guessed she'll ever appear again? I was shook when I saw her that first time, and it took my brain a while to catch up with my eyes because it has been such a long time, and I was very distracted because I love that actress anyway, because she was in Grey's Anatomy and I just adore her. And as soon as I hear her voice, I'm just like, oh, just love her. So yeah, rip Missouri. Season 13 is really good. You'll enjoy it for sure. I hope you're right, Chandra. I'm glad they finally brought her back after 12 years. So one person says 13, one person says 12. If we have conflicting time zones right here. It's understandable you don't remember the Wraith so much. That was back in season 5. Season 5, that's how long ago it was. Mikey boy, thank you for that follow. I appreciate it. Let me know where you found me in the comment as well. Don't be shy, come and chat. Safi says, last we saw Wraith, I think was season 5. Yes, so it's definitely season 5 for the Wraiths, because that's 2 in a row now. Special word, pudding. How can I forget the pudding with the little wiggle? I think the last we saw Wraith was when Sam and Dean got admitted to and said, you are correct, the doctor. You are indeed correct. Thank you, Matt, for that follow as well. I appreciate it. Dakara Jane, we saw the raids in season 5. Oh, we're going to have a lot of these comments then, eh? Tiny detail that I didn't notice till your reaction in the vision of the lights were flickering because Missouri was a ghost, basically. So the lights were hurt in the vision because of that. When the raid showed up, there were no malfunctions. Mental. That's a nice little added like information there, I think. Because I didn't even twig on that. Clever. Sophie says, I never liked this episode because having Misery back since season 1 was amazing, but they simply kill her off. Yeah, I do hate when they do that. Because you get excited that you've seen someone and then, nope, bye. Asmodeus is an easy name to remember. It has ass and mode in it. It fits him so well, he annoys me. Oh, I mean, you've spelt it wrong at the start, but I've got to give you the heart for that because ass mode. Yeah, I like it. That's so Raven. George, you kill me. And a cheeky like for the first comment there. Right. Right, here we go. The fandom collectively screamed at the end of this episode when it first aired. Oh, yes, I bet they did. I bet they did. I swear Jodie has more plot armor than both the boys put together. Oh, it's funny because it's true. I hope that remains the same all the way through as well. It's so funny that you're totally horrified when Jodie got stabbed, but when Dean got stabbed, you immediately know that it's a kill's vision, the relief. That is honestly like the comment could not be more accurate, because when Joda got stabbed, my heart broke. I screamed. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Then when it happened to Dean, I was like, oh, come on now. I know what's going on here. I see you, writers. I see what you're doing there. I've seen that final scene so many times. I've got it practically memorized. The acting is so good and it crushes me every time. Sent you a DM on Twitter with a screenshot of your reaction with appear so you recognize him. Yeah, I didn't recognize him. I honestly don't think I did. It looks nothing like him. Are you sure that's him? They use a different actor? Is it Zachariah with a different vessel? So it is a totally different guy. Yeah, that's doesn't count. Doesn't count. Right, okay, back to these comments. And Andy says, I think Dean thinks that Sam's using Jack for his powers is because he only saw and talked to him about his powers. He didn't listen in on their conversations. Also, I think he wants to believe that Sam is only using Jack for his powers because he doesn't want to accept the fact that Sam is bonding with the thing that killed Cass and trapped Mary in the alternate universe. He doesn't want him to form an attachment to Jack because in his mind, he's just another monster that needs to be ended because of what it took from him. And that makes total sense now because I know the scene now. I saw the scene where Dean opened up and was like, this is why, like, every time I look at his face, I see Cass and what all the things that I've lost. So I know that now. But at the time of watching, I didn't know that at that point. So I was just like, Dean, why are you being such a jerk, you know? But Sam was pushing Jack on his powers, so you can see why Dean thinks the way he does. If Sam can get Jack to harness his powers, then he can open the rift. Yes, Gem Queen. It got him dead. Now you might be able to forget about that, but I can't. I know, right? The scream that he said when Dean was all passionate about that just got me. The last scene between Dean and Sam, when it always gets me, but I can't. So good. Jensen's acting, it was on point. Jared's too. Jensen's acting is just absolute fire. You can see that. How can you say that in some space when Dean tells him he's fake and he can? Oh, I know, and I felt that, you know. I did. I felt that. I love how in the vision you got shocked about Jodie, but the moment Dean gets stabbed, you gotta know that it's a vision because main character. Hells yeah. Jensen is an amazing actor. That last scene is awesome when Dean talks about Castiel, really full of emotions. I agree. Isabel says Cass exploded in season 4 and 5 finale, but we only witnessed it in season 5. Very true. Oh my god, you just went through all of the emotions there, bless you. I wanted to scream so bad. Don't worry, Jodie's fine. She's the best ultimate mother figure. Now Dean, he is not okay. You got it perfectly. He's just angry and he is nihilistic. and oh, fancy, and he is projecting on Jack. He is so destroyed, and I totally agree about his characters being realistic and nuanced, and I love that. I definitely love that as well. Dean is not perfect, but we can totally see where he comes from, and it's been so human, relatable and complex. And yes, about patience, Dean was starting to accept his live hunting and all. Yeah, it's not Dean coming from a bad place, but yeah, I said it at the end of your discussion. I love Patience. She's an interesting character. You absolutely nailed that, Lena. Totally agree. Thanks so much for watching. This is 1200 Miles says your face when Jodie was stabbed, priceless. Wanted to hug you and say it's okay, it's not real. Thank you, 12. Thank you. I appreciate the hug. Doctor says Sam and Dean have always been two extremes when it comes to others. Only middle ground they have is when it comes to saving each other or someone. So true, the Doctor. You're not the only one who feels that way for Jodie. I got pissed when I saw her die. Yep, I agree. I definitely agree. Jodie is my queen. Yup, there's a reason why Sam is my favourite. The moment of Sam stands up out of the chair, back then, me, oh shit. In Star Wars language, Sam equals high ground, and also see the same actress and character from all the way back to season 1, who protected John and Sam and Dean. Great seeing her, great reaction as always, Dakara. Carry on. Thank you so much, Charlie. Thank you, thank you. I love seeing Charlie's comments in my chat. Ian says that Jodie moment will live long in the memory. It will indeed. There is a scar right there. Great reaction, Dakara. Your outro was spot on. I will say though, Dean is thinking from a place of anger and the red mist is stopping him trusting in Sam's perspective, and Cass is too. But let's be positive and hope Dean comes around. 110% Ian. 605 Supernatural Trolls Dakara caught on tape. So I'm guessing this bit is going to be... You can see my eyes filling up with tears in that moment.
No.
I can't believe they did that.
They have not just done that to me.
It's so cruel. Cruel.
Oh, this is what she's saying.
You can literally see it. The writers are awful. They are just awful. Cruel writers. And November Delta. Again, November Delta, I always see you in my comment section, and thank you so much for all the support. Great weekender reaction of a great ep that was certainly a roller coaster, getting Missouri back after so long, only to lose her permanently, losing the beloved Jodie to thankfully realizing that it was a vision once we see Dean get killed, and then the reveal that Cass is back, but where? And agreed on the great scene between Dean and Sam that dug up and exposed a lot of feelings. Great stuff that gets you 2 cheeky thumbs up. Thank you so much. Now you can get a cheeky thumbs up and double heart. There you go, my friend. DJ's emotions in this episode went from Jodie to Castiel. Accurate. It's different for Dean as he is a grieving widower. We have a Destiel shipper there in Isabel Swan. Yes, the empty, sad that it's ending. The difference is Jack has supernatural powers and the brain of a 5-year-old, and you can't take the powers away without killing him. Sam just had to detox from demon blood and he'd be human again. Jack took care of Jack. He needed them because Cass wasn't there. Dean lost a friendly Crowley, a friend Cass, and his mom, all thanks to Jack. If he hadn't come into existence, yeah, but Jack didn't choose that existence. This is what frustrates me a little bit. Like, Jack didn't choose to be born. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, Jack has technically had an effect on the world, but it wasn't from his choices. He didn't say, Lucifer, are you all right misleading Kelly Klein and pretending to be someone else so that you can impregnate her? No, Jack didn't. Yes, Sam proves in a later ep he only wants Jack to get Mary back, and I thought that before Dean said it. No, again, that's wrong, John Winchester. That is wrong, because yes, Sam does say that he wants to get his mum back, but he doesn't say he's using Jack for solely that reason. That is not what's said at all. So I disagree with what you're saying there, John Winchester, but I appreciate you commenting and watching the video. I can understand where Dean was coming from when he said it was completely different. I'm not saying he was right or that I agree with him by any means, of course, but I get what's going on. These are the sort of comments that I like. Thank you, Bieber. Sam and Jack are going through very similar experiences, but to Dean, they're entirely opposite in terms of what they mean to him. You are so right, so right. If I could like this a million times, I would. Sam's his brother who he swore to protect from a very young age. There's no way he was going to put a bullet in him. I get that. Jack, on the other hand, he has no connection to, and he just currently sees him as the thing that got his best friend killed. Again, while I understand what he means, completely disagree with him. This is me. I could have, you've put what I was thinking in words so perfectly, because the amount of, I'm really bad at like explaining myself and stuff, but Bieber, thank you. Because people like jumped on me when it came to season 13, like literally jumped down my throat because they thought that I was going against Dean and like hating Dean. I was angry with Dean's actions and how he was pushing those feelings onto others. I understood why he felt the way that he did. I just felt like he was going about in a really shitty way, you know? I'm not going to allow him to be like that and be like, well, he's allowed to because of this and this. Because then that's just like accepting dickish behaviour. Trey Williams says, awesome reaction to Dakara. Thank you so much, Trey. Destiel OTP says, great episode. Robert Behrens, is that how you pronounce his name? The writer of this episode is a genius. He wrote lots of my favourite episodes ever. Missouri, we only saw her once in 109. Holy hell. And I wanted her back ever since, but again, they brought her back just to kill her off. See, people are done with the supernatural writers bringing people back and then killing them off. Like they did with Sarah from 119 in season 8. I hate when they bring a character back just to kill him. Anyway, I love all the Sam and Jack scenes. Sam is so precious and so is Jack. The speech at the end, we finally know why Dean is acting like that. When he looks at Jack, he remembers Cass, because Jack is so similar to Cass. He's a little naive and even looks like him. He blames him for Cass's death. Dean says, when I look at him, all I see is everyone we lost. So Sam assumes he's talking about Mary and says, but Mom, choose to... Oh, this is a long message right here. Let me just quickly scan over this because I don't want to read it all out because it just takes too long, but I agree about Jodie. I definitely agree. Thank you so much, Destiel OTP, and thank you for all the support as well that you give. I appreciate you a lot. Cynthia Holmes says, you are so going to love episode 16, Trust. They were correct. I have seen it and I loved it. Connor Riley says, yes, Dakara, experience what we all did. Jodie. I feel your anger in this comment, Connor, and I kind of love it. Megan says, honestly, 100% with Sam on this. Like, just because Jack is Lucifer's kid, it doesn't mean that he's just evil because Lucifer wasn't born evil, and Jack isn't born evil either. And Kelly was such a good person. Oh, I know, right? Pretty Blair of an episode, given we have Misery return. Just have like, people hate the fact that she was killed off. I mean, I get it. I do get it. Easily the weakest early season 13 episodes, given how much disconnected it feels. The Jack stuff was better, but the ending with Cass T's returning, God please no. Given how much they have run that holy thing, reviving him over and over just to not grow the character, I feel it would be better. I know what you mean. I get it. I've forgotten how annoying Dean was at the beginning of this season, not only because of how he treats Jack, but also because he acts as if he is the only one who is, yes, and I got that vibe. Because the way he was talking to Sam was quite dismissive, I felt, and accusatory as well. But again, it was just his anger taking over and he wasn't in his right mind. Right, here we go. Let's go through some of these ones. This one? Right, so this is season 3, episode 23 of Lucifer. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen this, please look away now. It's season 3, episode 23. Look away from the screen. Don't listen to me. Mute me, and then I will be back in 10 minutes. You weren't the only one who cried when Charlotte died. Yes, she died. And yes, she got first class ride to heaven. It makes my heart so happy. She went to heaven. Heidi, always leaving very thought out comments here. So, this episode's ending is gut-wrenching, you're telling me. But between Charlotte's death, seeing Amenadiel getting back his wings so he can fly to Charlotte to heaven where she truly belongs. She does truly belong there, guys. And I will fight anyone that tells me that Charlotte doesn't belong to be there, like doesn't belong there. She does. However, the kiss Lucifer and Chloe share and seeing how loving Chloe is towards him upon him opening up to her and expressing his fear about how he believes himself to be evil because he's the devil, it's so beautiful. Can I just say, what I didn't like when they finally introduced Dakara during my utter heartbreak of Charlotte, like I couldn't even soak up that scene in that moment because I was so upset. Like I was hysterical in that moment. So I was just a little bit like, oh my God, I love them. I do love them, but I cannot breathe right now because I'm so upset. It was just, I was a mess. I think that's probably one of the worst I've been. In the end, I love that we see Lucifer had a single feather from Amenadiel's wings to let him know that not only had flown Charlotte to heaven, where she and Amenadiel will now be at peace and truly happy, but also that Lucifer will know his brother had been right about angels self-actualizing. This is a very key moment in this episode because Amenadiel opens up to Lucifer, says, do you ever think that maybe it's us that have the control and not Dad? And Lucifer's just like, please, if it makes you feel better, think that, but you're a bit looper. Seeing that feather literally tells him, you were 100% right, and I need to look at myself now and to see if my devil face returns, you know. It's a very, very good show. Thank you so very much for your reaction to this absolutely beautiful and powerful episode that is wonderful in every way, from start to finish, Dakara. I'm so happy you love this episode so much, in spite of feeling so heartbroken by the end, but your emotions is what makes your reactions truly wonderful to watch, so thank you. Thank you so much for your support. I'm so happy you enjoyed episode. It means a lot that you take the time to watch and comment. Awesome. Thank you so much, Heidi. You're a gem, an absolute gem. Charlotte sacrificed herself to save Amenadiel, not knowing he was an angel and pretty much impervious to the gunshot that redeemed her and allowed her to go to heaven. Her season-long fear of being sent back to hell, it would never happen now. I love the scene of Amenadiel saying, let's go home. Oh, it was so sad. So sad. Tiny correction, Charlotte knew Amenadiel was an angel right before you guys went, oh, yeah. Tiny correction, but yeah, we know what you mean, Walter. We know what you mean. Celia Fox says, beautiful reaction. I cried again too, as it's so emotional and so well done. I remembered holding it barely together with teary eyes the first time I watched until Dan arrived and pulled her into his arms. The moment Dan hugged her, like I just can't even. It got me so bad. I can't believe the writers have done this. Same. See, Celia, me and you, my friend. Same wavelength. Glad you enjoyed the reaction. Celia, just reading comments now on Twitch live, and I loved this one. You're the best. I can't bring myself to watch the bonus ones with a cliffhanger like this one. Thanks for taking time to watch and comment. It means a lot. Toasted says, love your reaction. You're certainly not the only one who shed tears, but they made it so beautiful as well, with Amenadiel getting his wings back and taking Charlotte to heaven. Oh, preach it. I really love the Dakara kiss, and I know it's easy to wish it happened elsewhere, but in the end, I wouldn't move it. We were getting what we wanted, but at the same time, knew it was in the middle of a tragedy, which the characters were going to become aware of soon. It gave it an especially poignant feel. The only thing that didn't work for me was Dan holding on Charlotte's body. I mean, emotionally, I really loved it, but he's a cop and knows better than to move a body, potentially ruining all the forensics. To be fair though, Toasted, the love of his life was dead. I don't think he was thinking about his job in that moment. He really wasn't. He was just thinking about his baby and he just wanted to cuddle her and cradle her. So in that sense, I kind of get it. Because if I was in that situation, I wouldn't give two flying hoots about that in that moment, just purely because you're not thinking straight. Because yes, if it was to come to like figuring out a murder and stuff and you've just tainted evidence, that is awful. But you don't think like that when you're emotionally just shook, you know? I still cry like a baby. Oh, Callie. Callie, my friend. Bless your heart. There we go. Let me swap back really quick. Right, guys. I'm gonna do a quick couple of reactions. Here we go. So we have off script with Tom and Tom.
Roddy Rob. There was a lot of this, huh?
Is that too loud? Are we okay?
Welcome to Lucifer's. Now, we both have a lot in common, you know. We're both 6'3".
Yep, we're both iconic DC characters.
We are both super charming and handsome, to boot.
I mean, he's not lying.
Lucifer.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So, now, we're both here. I have actually... Right, Tom Welling, ladies and gentlemen spoons. Tell me about your favourite job you had before getting into that.
The favorite job I had was probably being a bartender.
I did that for 7 years.
Crazy people when
Was
they
that
got drunk.
Was that in Los Angeles or was that somewhere else?
That was up in Michigan.
Oh, oh and how long did you do that until? What
Imagine
age?
him serving you
19.
alcohol. I mean, I would just be hammered every single day. I'd just keep going back.
Okay.
I don't think it was
Maybe we
quite
should move
legal. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll ask you a sincere question.
Oh.
How did Lucifer? Sorry, actually no.
He's gorgeous.
Well,
He's gorgeous.
I had done a show which was kind of like I was supposed to rush. We did
Never
one season
seen
of
that.
it, and the show got cancelled, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was a good job for me in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
and then the following pilot season, and I hated all of them bar the Lucifer script,
Really?
which I absolutely fell in love with
Nice.
by about page 3. And I was so like, this is the one that I want to get. And then it's kind of weirdly sort of seamless after that. I went to go and meet Len Wiseman, who was directing the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
They had very similar thoughts. And that was it. He had to sort of sell me to the studio. And they all said yes. And
I feel like
here we are.
it's just two blokes at a bar. Like, I love it.
What was your first thought when you heard that I was coming to the show? We've had
Like, there's no cameras there. We're just watching.
No, I was really excited because I watched Tom's previous show, Smallville.
Same.
You were the
I was the one viewer that kept you going for 10 years. And so obviously I knew your work and I kind
Oh,
of thought,
10
that's
years?
This is
Holy
going to be really
crap.
interesting because one of the briefs about your character this year was we needed someone who could go. And so they decided to get someone called Tom who was 6'3".
Hopefully that's okay.
Who could go exactly toe to toe with someone called Tom who's 6'3".
Yeah.
You can never see Tom and Tom
so
too
that was
much.
great. And,
Same,
I've heard
Rob.
some good
I'm with
things
you.
about
I'm right there.
as a person, and I can confirm they're all true. He is a lovely man. So yeah, I was super excited.
Right on. I'm gonna lose my jacket. I want to get comfortable here.
Buy me a drink first. Oh, you have.
Look at
Yeah,
them
it's quite
arms,
warm
though.
in his penthouse.
Them arms, though.
Not as warm as where he's actually from. Right. Right, come on, ask away.
All right. Do you base Lucifer on any particular character or actor, or what was your when you got to that third page?
It's a cute little bracelet he's got on there.
You kind of thought, I kind of see this. I kind of feel.
Yeah, I had a weird sort of when I first read it. It was written in a very sort of specific way,
Okay.
and there was no kind of like guidance as to how he should sound or anything. But it really reminded me when I was running through it that it was so wordy that it needed to be delivered with a certain amount of pace and energy. And it reminded me of like doing old plays by Noel Coward or Oscar Wilde or something like that, where their characters kind of often talk in a very sort of linear way that just sort of flows, and you had to find a rhythm to it. And that's kind of where I started with it, and then with the sort of bad boy sort of Mick Jagger-esque swagger to him. That was my sort of starting point.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I guess some people said a little bit of Alan Rickman in there as well.
I could see that. I could see Alan Rickman in there.
Like Mick Jagger, yeah. So Mick Jagger and Noel Coward's love child.
There you go.
There we go.
What a mix. Wow.
Hello. You want to see more of me?
Ding dong. Right, we're on part 2 now, guys. Here we go.
What is the password to your social media account? I don't think we should answer. No.
Off script, Tom.
Right, Tom, you have directed. I didn't know this actually. You've directed 7 episodes of Smallville.
Yeah.
Have you got any plans to direct in the future? Maybe even on this show.
I mean, I would love to. I mean, I love being here and being around you guys. Maybe next season, who knows? But I do like it. There's something. One of the things about acting is you never really get to feel like you ever nailed anything, that you finished something. It's always like, oh, let me go again, let me make it better. With directing, you're able to sort of get that sense of accomplishment. Like, we got the scene, time to move on. And there's also, when you give a note to an actor, and I'm sure you've felt this in conversations with actors,
So, Jack.
and you can say something to someone and it sort of sparks something in their eyes, and then they go and they do a take on camera. It's magic. It's magical. It's a really good sense. I would love to.
Drop a little nugget.
Yeah.
A nugget from the gods. Cool, man. I'd like to ask you, actually, on the directing front.
Yeah.
When you are an actor in a scene and you are directing the scene, how does that work?
The first episode I ever directed, I was in 90% of the scenes.
Right.
And what happened was I had some good people around me on the show. I'd been on the show for, I think, 4 or 5 years. And I had some good directors say, you have to do more takes on yourself than the other actor. You're going to feel like after 2 takes, you don't want to spend too much time on you. It's going to seem egotistical. But the truth is, do 5 takes of you and 2 of the other, if that's the case, because you're kind of in between it. And I also was working with people who were, I didn't go back every take and watch what was going on, but every 2 or 3 takes to see that we were.
Did you have a body of trust at the monitors?
Very much.
And was that like
Jack,
your script
I'm going to pretend you never said that. I'm going to pretend that you never said that.
And it's sort of like, I mean, I don't know if you have any interest in directing, but you kind of set that all up beforehand. And then I got a call when they were in post from the guy who ran the show, and he was like, so everybody else out of the room, and sort of sat me down, and I was like, yeah, so how was my episode? He goes, not your best work. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought I nailed it. And he was the one who told me, like, this is what happens. And so when I hear about other actors directing themselves, it's like, oh, I kind of know how tough that is. But it's not impossible. I recommend it. You learn a lot.
Yeah, no, I would love to have a go. I'm just slightly worried about if they do more takes on me than the other actors. They're just there going, look at him directing, hogging all the limelight.
Yeah, he sounds totally different.
Okay, cool. Ask me. Come on, ask me something.
I went to Comic-Con with you this year. That was the first time we really got to spend any time together. The question is, you've been there a few times already. Is there anything interesting encounter with any fans? Anything strange?
How dare you?
I mean, the weirdest thing about Comic-Con is that it feels like Groundhog Day when you're there. Because it's like, it's great fun.
Yeah.
It's so different to any other press that you do. But
Almost like
there's like a party on the Friday night and the Saturday night that all the cast and people get invited to, and they're at the same venue. And so you leave Comic-Con every year going, oh, remember at that party? And you go, that was on the Friday, that was on the, and it's just all one.
Guys, I have tickets to a Lucifer convention over in Birmingham in February 2022. Cannot wait. I am going to meet Tom Ellis in person. I will be in the same room as him. There's a high possibility that I will have a photograph with him. I'm going to freak out. I may faint.
But no, there was one year that I bumped into
maybe a vlog
half
of me
my
getting
entire house share from London.
Treated by paramedics.
Came out of acting school.
Out of nowhere?
Yeah, I mean, so I used to live with James McAvoy, who I was at drama school with.
Interesting,
and an actor called
with
Jesse
James.
Spencer, who's on Chicago Fire now. And bizarrely, I saw Jesse at this party, and I was like, oh, Jess, what are you doing? He was like, hold on a minute. And he went to the bar to go and get a drink and came back with James. And we were like, wait. And then another friend of ours who used to live in the house rocked up, who was there promoting a video game that he was on.
That's
so
amazing.
It was quite a weird sort of like...
And it wasn't arranged.
Friends reunited at Comic-Con.
That's hilarious.
That's my story. Anyway.
Yeah.
Love that.
Right. Let me ask you something very interesting.
Okay.
Oh, yes, Angel. Yes, I am.
Oh, I didn't know this either. This is very
I think I've only been to Birmingham.
I heard you initially turn down the role of Clark Kent on Smallville.
Yeah.
What finally convinced you to play said role?
Well, Well, at the time, they didn't have a script, or they weren't releasing it. You just kind of had to come in and
That's
audition.
amazing.
There were other
Raid,
things that I was
thank you
out
so
for
much
at the
for that
time.
raid. I
And
appreciate
they
that.
didn't apparently
thank you so
find
much.
their guy. And David Nutter, who
Hope you're having a good
directs
day.
a lot of pilots.
Hope your stream went
very
well,
good
whatever
director.
you were
He was
streaming.
directing it, and he called and said, you know, come in and read it. We can't let you take it, but come in and read it, and then, you know, see how you feel. So I came into the office. They sort of put me behind a, you know, closed door. I read it, and I was like, oh, this is actually different. This is about a kid trying to understand who he is and what his place is in the world, as opposed to just, you know, throwing on tights and a cape and flying around and kind of
Which I would have loved, to be honest.
Well, yeah. So then, a lot like you, as soon as the process started, it was like 3 weeks, and we were like, I had it. It was like it was. I think
I love Tom.
they were
Holland
really
so much.
desperate. I think they'd gone through every other actor, and I think it was just like, well, you know, he kind of looks like the guy.
Well, I think there was probably a lot of pressure on their shoulders as well, with it being a huge sort of, you know, DC property and all of those things. But they found their man. Tis and was you.
There we go, and we have a part 3 as well.
Describe me in 3 words.
Professional, funny, and tall. Well, here's one. So what's the deal with Lucifer and Dakara?
I mean, for me, like the storyline of Chloe and Lucifer is very much sort of the heartbeat of our show, and I think that
Linda is the heartbeat, but we'll move on.
She is what represents love to Lucifer. I mean, I don't think he's ever experienced love. We did sort of tease the notion of unconditional love with the mum storyline in season 2.
Right.
Tease,
but the
would
notion
be the
of
right
romantic
word.
love and
Forever
actively giving yourself to someone and kind of, you know, making that person more important, which is very difficult for Lucifer.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I see his and the detective's relationship. And I've always had this notion in my head, it's a bit like Beauty and the Beast, but in reverse.
He's got like a little
Whereas
bit
she
of
gets the sort of Prince version of Lucifer.
an accent,
yeah.
like twang
And then
in
the
it,
real
like
Lucifer.
You're not calling her
a
the Beast.
She is the
Slight
Beast.
cockney.
But then the real version of Lucifer is the sort of ugly beast version. Right. And, you know, getting her to... Because I think the two characters do actually love each other.
Yeah,
and I think
agreed.
that's what's the gravity of the show. But they're two characters
Thank
who,
you for that
for whatever
follow,
reason, they can't
Actonel.
look
I
at
appreciate
each other.
it.
Well, what I love watching the first 2 seasons as a fan,
Just enjoying
my
a bit
favorite
of,
season when
Lucifer.
you're like, I'm the devil. No, I'm
Behind the
actually him.
scenes.
Watch. And she's
It's
just like,
Joko. Thank you for that
whatever.
follow.
Yeah. She's always found a plausible reason or a sort of scientific, logical reason as the detective to
I
kind
cannot
of
read your
believe.
comment, though, I'm
Right.
afraid.
okay, so this is an
I
important one.
apologise. I'm
Who
a
or what
dum-dum.
account is your guilty pleasure on social media?
On
Here
Twitter,
we go. What's-
I do
Dakara
enjoy
Jane. He's
Gordon
gonna say
Ramsay.
Dakara Jane.
I have to say. So he's got this thing
Next
where people
time.
just send him what they've cooked or what their boyfriend's made for them or whatever,
After
and he
my
makes
convention,
always
he
a
will
very
change
funny
the answer,
comment
I'm telling
about how
you.
awful it looks.
Okay.
And Gordon tends to make me laugh. So yeah.
All right.
Oh, it's me too. Okay. Tom, Smallville and Lucifer both shot in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Now Lucifer is in LA. What do you love most about filming in the City of Angels?
Well, there's 2 things. One, I'm a lot closer to work from where I live, and 2 is I think LA really supports Lucifer as far as even the visual and the lights and being able to go on locations for real, as opposed to in the first 2 seasons, Lucifer was set in LA, but it shot in Vancouver, and I don't know if you could tell, but I know there's a big difference between 2 and 3.
I think that people that know can tell.
Yeah.
I think our audience often, you know, thankfully caught up in the story and they don't really, it doesn't compute that much.
Right.
But, and also we would flesh the show out with trips to LA
Right.
and lots of sort of flyover establishing shots and stuff. But you like Vancouver, don't you?
I mean, I did not like it.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a leading question because I love
no.
Vancouver and the people there are amazing.
I didn't see much of it. I mean, the amount of, as you know, the amount
See,
of
I
work.
feel like similar to that.
takes,
It just
was
rained when I was in
I would just
Vancouver.
be at work all week and then sleep all weekend and go back to work. And then if I had any time, I'd fly off, you know, just try to reconnect with family and friends. But everything about Vancouver is fantastic, going to Whistler and doing all that stuff. And
Loved
gorgeous in
Whistler.
the
That was
summer.
one of my
It
favourite
is
places.
one of the
Whistler.
most beautiful cities I've ever been to in the summer.
Right.
Like when you can see Vancouver, it's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
just
it was
can't see it
very
for a lot of
rainy.
the time because it rains a lot.
Yes.
That's a good
But that's
point.
not their fault. Anyway,
I got one for you.
Yeah.
At Gleiswood Gleiswood?
Oh, we were doing Twitter questions.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do Twitter
Ed
questions.
Gleiswood. One
Have
word
you
to
just copied and
describe
pasted
Marcus Pierce.
his comment though, the Doctor? I cannot read that. I can't read it.
Stern.
Enigmatic.
Oh. Can you be more specific?
Thank you for translations. If anyone can translate, I'd love that.
Enigmatic.
I love the
That'll
3-hour
sum it up.
stream, Saturday stream. Yes, then.
I got one. Princess Rise.
Is she a real princess?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Princess Reese.
Yeah.
Princess
Oh,
of Wales.
and then she's there too. Will Lucifer ever seek God's forgiveness, and will God forgive him? Hashtag Lucifer.
Oh, goodness me.
Heavy question.
Well, I think Lucifer feels very much at the moment that he doesn't want his dad's forgiveness. I think what he really thinks that he wants is just complete separation from his father and his father's influence on his life. I think we sort of hit a bit of a sort of vein of actually what Lucifer really would want to do if he ever saw his dad and spoke to his dad.
with
When
that
we
whole...
had an episode last season, when Tim Omenson played God Johnson, which was one of my favourite episodes.
That was
actually.
it.
And I
was
think
gonna say Kane then.
you got a sense
Wasn't
in that
Kane.
episode that what Lucifer wants
He's Kane.
is his dad's acceptance and his dad's love, which is what we all want, really. And so, I think that he would be pained to admit that to anybody. But yeah, I think deep down that's where Lucy's at.
Yeah, it's almost like if you got the forgiveness, it's to be like, yeah, but that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, guys. I hope you did as well. So, Sam being soulless for 8 minutes. Are we ready? Here we go.
Of course, it's not UFOs. It's fairies.
Fairies. Okay. Well, thank you for your input.
What,
Why
science
does
house is not insane enough for you?
Jared not look
What
like
newspaper
Jared?
did you say you work for?
Look, if you want to add glitter to that glue you're sniffing, that's fine, but don't dump your wackadoo all over us. We'd rather not step in it.
Okay, we're done.
The only thing you're missing is a couple dozen cats, sister.
Yeah, it's a blood sugar thing.
Me.
So, you've been hunting UFOs for over 3 decades, and you basically have no concrete data and 0 workable leads.
Well,
Have you considered the possibility that you suck? You suck at hunting UFOs?
How you doing?
Kinda love
This is
it.
Alden Wilson. Feds? Yeah. What are the feds doing here?
Oh, we're specialists, and they call us in to answer the questions of mouth-breathing dick monkeys. So you gonna walk us through
Jensen's
this?
face.
Or, Well, I gotta tell you, Lucky, you got us stumped. I mean, why shack up with the family?
Oh,
Is
that
it a
episode
kinky
was
thing?
weird. That episode was weird.
Do you like to play with your food? Roll over, Lucky. Speak.
Go to hell.
Already been. Didn't agree with me. So, look, how about
The glasses
I
just
take
come
this silver
down,
knife
sunglasses.
and I start carving some dog until you behave.
It was icky, it was.
Do what you got to do.
Ian, thank you so much for that tip. Beers are going down nice. I bet they are, Ian. I am jealous. I might have a cider myself, cheeky cider. Hope you enjoy the beer garden. Thank you so much for stopping by and appreciate the tip. That's really nice of you. This scene triggers me so bad. This was weird as well.
Holy.
This is very weird.
UFO! UFO! Oh, dude, stop yelling. You're breaking up. I didn't catch that last part. Close encounter! Close encounter! Close encounter? What kind? First? Second? They're after me! Third kind already. You better run, man. I think the fourth kind is a butt thing. Empathy, Sam! Empathy! Now, come on. Talk to me. What happened?
Well, there was this, God help me, Sam, there was this bright white light.
He hates himself right now.
Okay. Safe room.
Who has edited
these-
this? This is hilarious.
Beams. They were too bright to look at, but I could feel them pulling me towards this sort of table.
Probing table.
God, don't say that out loud.
Guys who turned me,
They're ruthless. Sam, not helping. Fetch this dick.
This is it?
Well, I'd say
Yeah,
that
the
30
fairy
years of
one was
eyewitness
pretty
accounts
funny.
speak for themselves as incontrovertible proof.
Yeah, right. My brother was abducted, so I'm pretty good on the whole proof part.
Your brother was abducted?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's fine. I mean, I've had time to adjust.
Did it happen when you were kids?
No, like half an hour ago.
I'd like to help. If I can.
Oh, bum chicka wow wow.
Dean?
What the hell?
Oh, that's Dean. Sam, they brought your brother back.
You're upset.
I forgot how good these scenes are.
I was abducted. And you were banging patchouli.
I didn't think she smelled that bad.
I was abducted by aliens.
I was looking into it.
All the demons, the angels, ghosts and the skinwalkers. It turns out that there's... So if aliens
He
are
did
actually
get laid
real,
so
what's
much when he
next,
never
huh?
saw.
Hobbits? Seriously.
My cheeks are sore.
You just gave her the silent how you doing.
What?
Our reality's collapsing around us and you're trying to pick up our waitress?
Yeah. Okay, look. Brings up a question. So, say you got a soul, and you're on a case, and your brother gets abducted by aliens.
Yeah, then you do everything you can to get him back.
Right, you do. But what about when there are no more leads for the night? I mean, are you supposed to just sit there in the dark and suffer, even when there's nothing that can be done at that moment?
Yes!
What?
Yes.
Yes. You sit in the dark.
Welcome back, Nando.
Absolutely, but couldn't I just do all that and have sex with the hippie chick?
No!
It would be in the dark.
No, you couldn't because you would be suffering. And you can't just turn that off for the night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Why not?
The captions are like my favorite thing.
So you're saying
Same,
having
Ashley.
a soul equals suffering?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Personally, I think they're taken to Avalon to serve as Oberon, king of the fairy.
Think of the fairy.
Dean, did you service Oberon, king of the fairies?
All right, I'm pretty sure that there's some kind of like
baby
paste or jelly you're supposed to put on their butt.
Like that?
Yeah, grab that. Come on, hang in there, buddy. Hang in there, man.
Make it stop. How? Everyone's staring at us like we're child abusers.
Feed it. We fed it.
Feed it.
What? I don't know. You think I speak baby? Maybe it needs a diaper change.
Oh God, I hope not.
What's his name?
John.
Oh, she was the demon,
Bobby
wasn't
John.
she? They've been in some pickles, haven't they?
Well, that's a really nice offer, thank you, but I think we've got it.
Oh, it's nothing. Happy to help.
Give me the baby before I stab you in your neck. A lot to absorb.
Dean!
Thank
Shapeshifter,
you.
not demon.
Oh, stay. Finish your tea.
I gotta say, I love the feel. It's
like Sedona, Arizona crapped in here.
pewterific is what it is. Pewterific.
Ah!
Do you have bigger cups?
You have bigger cups. Oh my days. I absolutely love it. Right. There, I have watched another one for you guys and I freaking love it. My cheeks do hurt from smiling so much. I kind of love Soulless Sam. I know you guys know this if you've watched my reactions, but he's just so much fun. So much fun. The tiny cup. I mean, a normal size cup looks tiny in Jared's hands. So when you actually put a small cup, it's like a little shot glass. Jared Padalecki accidentally spoils the return of Castiel.
Just kidding. I think she said if there was another episode of Changing Channels, what world would we like to be in?
His hair looks good there, right?
Simpsons. The Scooby-Doo. Which one? So we actually already recorded it. We actually already. So it's episode 16 of next season. I guess we can talk about it now that we talked about it in New York. Episode 16 of next season. And we already
Why Jensen looks so nervous for
it. Studio to Brian Adams' music studio in Vancouver, which is pretty cool. And we did all the dialogue, Jensen and Misha and I, because it now takes them 9 months.
He's shaking his head now. He's like, no. He knows what he's done. He knows what he's done.
Here's what you guys don't know. Please don't post that. What are you talking about? He's just an animated character. That's a figment of Sam and Dean's imagination. There are other characters too that don't exist anymore. That is very true. So, boom, you're welcome.
Oh, imagine being Jared in that moment.
That's the only episode we've seen, and it exists by itself. So he could be dead. I hope he's dead because it's yeah. So, anyways, when Jensen and Jared and Misha.
Is that the clip? Is that the clip now?
Shepard and Misha. Samantha and all the British men of letters. Went to go do our recording. We weren't there. So that would be a fun world to get to take. It was cool that Jeffrey Dean came back. Ruby. It's a who's who.
I bet.
But yeah, so I think that would be fun.
He must be terrified in that moment, thinking, oh, I'm going to lose my job. Oh, so funny. So funny. The audience instantly screaming. And then you can see that little twig then where Jensen's like, oh, no. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Oh, dear me. I just want to say thank you for joining me in the stream. Those that are joining me for these reactions on YouTube, going through your comments on YouTube and going through your comments on Patreon as well. Thanks to you for taking the time. All you guys that are supporting me, I cannot thank you enough, honestly, God. I cannot thank you enough. This is literally all I wanted to do, and now I'm doing it, and it's incredible. And thank you, thank you, thank you.